Hi, on September 6, 2017, this Sunspot 2673 gave off an X10 solar flare, Earth-directed. And a couple days later, when it was no longer facing Earth, it gave off an X8. It gave off several M-class flares, and we believe it may have even led to a cause of a Mexico earthquake, I believe 8 point something, their strongest in at least 100 years. Also, it may have at least added to the strength of the hurricanes. We've had Harvey, we've had Irma, Jose's still out there churning. And so this X-flare is going to come around again. So I started to think about this and wondered if I should do a video about it. And I put it off, and God gave me a confirmation which was so incredible. You guys might not think so. It's kind of one of those things I told my family and they just look at me funny, but that's okay. The day that I was really thinking, God, and I mean like 10 minutes before my daughter and I started watching this movie, I prayed again, God, am I really supposed to do a video on this? Because I'm not that talented when it comes to putting all these videos together. I don't have time to do it. It's just not my thing. So we started to watch On the Waterfront, the Marlon Brando movie. My daughter likes classic black and white movies, and every so often this was on regular TV, so we watched it. And right at the beginning, this is the script, okay, for On the Waterfront. And right at the beginning of the movie, this guy comes into, I think it's some kind of bar or saloon, and says 2673, okay, which is the Sunspot number. This is part of the script, so I don't even know what he's talking about. I was so floored by it that I thought, aha, that's my confirmation. On the waterfront. I mean, we've had hurricanes, and it might have been caused, or at least strengthened by this solar flare, etc. Okay, so back to the solar flare, though. My friend, when I first saw this, I thought, I wonder if that number is important, but I quickly dismissed it. And a friend of mine, thank goodness, did not dismiss it. The Lord actually prompted her to look up the number in Strong's Concordance, and you will be amazed at what she found. Okay, she found most notably in Hebrew, let's see if I can get this in there. Okay, here we go. 2673 means to cut off or split in two, to halve, to divide, to X out half, to reach, okay? So you guys get the idea. It means to divide or split. What if, when that sunspot comes back around again, it leads to the splitting of the United States? Okay, so we'll get to that in a minute. We know that's going to happen. Those who have been watching, listening, reading prophetic words, having dreams and visions, we know this is going to happen based on some type of agreement with Israel to split their land. That's what we know is going to happen. So we look this same number up, 2673, in the Greek, and here it is. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. In fact, I don't think you guys can see that. There you go. Okay, to render entirely idle, abolish, cease, cumber, deliver, destroy, do away with. It just stops. Things stop. So first they're divided, and then they stop. You know, I'm just saying, just putting it out there. Okay, so what happens? What happens is the sunspots. This sunspot, and I may pronounce this wrong, so bear with me, is synodic, has a synodic rotation, and that's spelled S-Y-N-O-D-I-C. That means that in order for that particular sunspot to come back into alignment with the same place that it was, it comes back in 26.24 days. So 26 and a quarter days. That brings us from September 6th, when it was Earth facing, when this X10 flare went off, that brings us to October 2nd, which is Tishri 12. Okay, those of you who know me know that I do not believe the rapture will occur on Rosh Hashanah, because I believe that there'll be a transformation first, and then a 40 days of harvesting to bring in even more for the actual rapture. So on any given day when the transformation occurs, there's still at least 40 days. Those are all flexible because it could be a day or two more or less. I don't know. I just know that with all the people that I listen to that hear from God, we have been told there's going to be a 40-day harvest period before the rapture. So that's my view on the rapture on that day. However, Rosh Hashanah, the beginning of the new year. It's the end of the Jubilee year. It is right before September 23rd, which we know is the great sign in the sky. Does the sign point to the birthing of the man-child? I don't know. This particular video is about the sunspot coming back around. It comes back around facing Earth after those occurrences in September. Okay, so I'm looking at my notes here. Tishri 12, from what I understand, is not a real specific day. Nothing major happened on Tishri 12 that I could find. Now, granted, 26¼ days, you know, and the sunspot faces Earth maybe for a day or two before that, a day or two after. So we're looking at 4 to 5 days of timing here. The first week of October, we know, is critical as far as feasts for Israel. So that is earlier in Tishri. Now, ironically, I decided to look up October 2nd, which is just, you know, the world's way of dating it. And Sultan Saladin captured Jerusalem in 1187. I think that is significant. Also, you can see 1944, the Nazis had an uprising where they killed 250,000 people. So this particular day is not necessarily a good day. There's been bad things that happened on this day. So what am I looking at? And this is kind of the second part of the video. When that solar flare comes back around again. Okay, so if it's going to divide, if it's going to stop things, we would have had something happen with Israel before then, because no matter what is going to happen to the United States, everybody seems to be focused on that. But the whole point that we have been told that no matter what happens in any part of the world, you need to be watching Israel in order to see when and timing of events. Now, President Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu will meet on September 17th, which is just a couple days from now, in New Jersey. Then on September 19th, they will both speak at the United Nations. And that could be significant as far as time. That's just a couple days before the great sign in the sky from Revelation 12, September 23rd. So some things might be spoken about of splitting, dividing. I don't know. There could be handshakes. There could be deals behind the scenes. We already know these are going on behind closed doors. And so I suggest that you watch Israel. You watch Netanyahu's schedule, Trump's schedule, also Jared Kushner's schedule, because he is someone who's going around to all these countries trying to make a deal. The French Macron, his schedule, Emmanuel Macron, because he says he's going to Israel next spring, 2018. Also Abbas. Where's Abbas during all these times? So watch these guys. Watch anything that has to do with Israel, period. Because what we're seeing is possibly between now and then something will occur. Maybe we'll see it. Maybe it'll be behind closed doors, but will trigger the possibility of this sunspot to divide the United States. And we know that once that happens, our transformation is really, really close behind. And hopefully I've left you with some encouragement, because I believe it's in the next month or two. I just do. So may have to change my tune. I've made these videos before. I don't have a problem with that because I don't know. Anyone that I listen to that absolutely hears totally 100% from God has not given any dates. They've never named the Antichrist, not the people that I pay attention to. I know a lot of you immediately have pictures and faces come to mind, but those that I pay most attention to have never said. And that's not important. That's not important. For me, it's the transformation. That's the next thing. And before that happens, we have the splitting of this country in the United States. And we also have something going on with Israel. So watch Israel.